All right, welcome in. You're watching 4th and 5 presented by Ortho Arkansas. We're getting ready to have our film breakdown, and trust me, this is going to be a great one. It's been a while since I have good things to show, but you know me, I'm always thinking about what we can do better. You're going to be shocked when you see how much is left on the field that Arkansas could have taken advantage of. I mean, to put Tennessee nowhere close at the end of the game. And it's going to be pretty special to see because even though we still won the game, held them to 14 points, still Arkansas is almost right there to taking it to the next level. But before we get started, I just want to give y'all so many thanks. I appreciate y'all so much. It was so fun being up in Fayetteville this weekend, the first home game in such a long time. Everyone was coming up. Love 4th and 5. Love 4th and 5. Can't wait to see 4th and 5. All the support has been amazing. The subscribers are going up. And then on my way home, man, I tell you, this was special. Lauren Hoover, we have a new addition to our page here on YouTube. So if you like this content, if you appreciate it and you want more and more and you want to figure out ways to support this and keep it growing, just click that link at the top of the YouTube page. I got a nice donation from Lauren Hoover who said, love watching it like you loved watching you watch it like the rest of us last night. Breakout channel of the year. If you saw the video we posted post-game, I felt like a fan. I felt like a kid again. That was so much fun to watch. But let's go ahead and hop into this breakdown. More big news. The breakdown is about one step away from having its own sponsor. So very excited for that. But let's go ahead and hop into this tape. And I'm just going to go ahead and start the very first drive of the game. And what we're going to see here is a lot of good and some not so good. And this was pretty special. So Coach Petrino understood at the very beginning of this game that Tennessee was going to bring pressure. All right. And so he knew these guys on the edge are going to be running a full head of steam, and you can let these guys run free and you can get advantage with letting your offensive linemen block guys a little bit further down the screen. That's where you get this little bubble out. The thing is, too, Taylen has an option to throw this to the right side or the left side. The top of the formation up here, they're running a different type of screen. Remember that because I'm going to come back to that a little bit later in the breakdown. But a great first play to start things off and get that ball rolling. All right, so that's going to get us to a 2nd and 3. And like I said, so much left on tape right here where we just got to get this figured out. I'm not a big fan of this play. This is the first time I think I've seen this year. But look at Jaquindon right here. I'm not sure if he's supposed to jab right there. I would assume not, because what that does is it puts him really close to Taylen. When you have this pitch type aspect, you need to create more space, because if you're right next to each other, the guy that you're pitching off of, he can account for both of y'all. And that's exactly what happened right here. I mean, I love the idea of having two of your best guys with the balls in their hand being able to make plays. But it just was poor execution on that part. Really didn't understand that first jab by Jaquindon. All right, let's go ahead and get into the third down right here. Once again, Jaquindon did a great job of making something that could have been bad really good. Take a look up front. Carmona on the front side of this block. This guy kind of just quick swimmed him right here. This could have easily been an easy third down stop right here. Put him in a 4th and 1, maybe 4th and 2 situation. But Jaquindon Jackson just did a great job running that ball and picking up the first. All right, another one right here. A black stock as we go to the right side of the line of scrimmage now. Just a bad track to go ahead and get this front side block. You see right here, let the guy come underneath them, and play just gets blown up. Now, before we get started, I know we won this game. The point of this is just to show, even with these already mistakes, that's 3 in your first 4 plays, still being in a position to have a 9-minute drive all the way down to the goal line. We'll talk about that here in just a second, but I'm just letting you know there's still so much more that this team has to offer, and I can't wait till they really get it figured out. All right, let's move along. 2nd and 10 right here. Jaquindon once again in a situation. This is great by him. Take a look at your front side block again. Carmona struggling on the edge. Now, these guys from Tennessee, they're the real deal on the edge, that is. And you can see when I pause right here, this guy reestablished the line of scrimmage almost 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That is not good if you're an offensive lineman. And Jaquindon just did a great job. Like I said, that could have been a tackle for a loss, being able to break a tackle and get ahead of the change. I remember me going back to Oklahoma State, going to Texas A&M. I've been saying we were struggling with the front side of our runs, as you just saw in those last plays I just showed you. And Jaquindon usually has to count on the cutback. Well, you're going to see something here in a second that lets you know that they're paying attention to that. And it's pretty special to see what new element they added into the offense to get more support on the front side of these runs. All right, let's pick it up here on the 3rd and 9. This is big time, all right? So they rushed up to the ball super quick, all right? A nice little shot in the middle of the field. They're in a cover 2, and that's special. Now, the thing is, why'd they jump up to the ball so quick? You can see right here, Taylen just knew it was a cover 2 look. Just get the ball in the middle. So I love to watch film. You know who's obsessed with film? Coach Petrino. And just the fact that after that not very successful second down play, getting in a 3rd and long, getting on the ball so quick, it makes me think that Coach Petrino knew exactly what they were going to be in 3rd and long situations and didn't want to give them time to think, just getting to their base 3rd and long defense, which I'm assuming is a cover 2, because I went back and watched some tape from Tennessee and Oklahoma. And as we kind of get into this situation, 3rd and long, they're in that cover 2 shell. You see these safeties on the hash? If you go back to the Arkansas play from the wide angle, safeties on the hash. I mean, it's a cover 2 shell all the way across the board. And like I said, that's the cool thing about Coach Petrino. Dude is a just psychopath when it comes to watching tape. And so going back to that the Oklahoma game, there's probably a few 3rd and longs where Coach Petrino saw this is what they're going to get to. So our first 3rd and long, just get on the ball, call this play. The middle of the field is going to be wide open. That's some really cool stuff right here. All right, let's get to this 1st and 10. Once again, a nice little run here on the outside. First of all, our freshman running back, good old product of Benton. This dude right here, he's a dude. Dude can run that ball. Can't wait to show more clips of Russell here in just a second. Let's pick it up here on a 2nd and 6. This was big by Taylen. I love it. You know, you have that wheel concept like we run before. This was almost the exact same play that we ran against Auburn, and Jaquindon ended up cutting a guy instead of getting out into the wheel. Well, you have Rodney Hill running this wheel, running it out. It's all clearing up right here. And so you can see he's patient in the pocket. He goes through a progression. It's been a minute since we see that. And easy little mesh point right there. It's good to see Has again. Once again, I hope that his back is doing much better. They said he was going to have limited snaps. And so it's good to see him slowly getting onto this groove. This bye week is going to be much needed for our tight end. Let's pick it up here in a 1st and 10. Once again, interesting right here, as I said, the point of attack, okay? We needed some help front side runs. So what do? We bring in our backup right tackle, all right, number 96. And the dude is a bully. He's mean. Technique, it's a little iffy, okay? But he lines up and he comes off the ball, all right? Pass protection, but run blocking, we're decent. We still got some things to work on. But look at this front side block by my guy. I mean, buries this guy. Get down. You have to love that, all right? That is what we've been missing front side, okay? Now, my guy is hit or miss because he just shoots out. You're going to see that kind of come back to haunt him here in a second. But as we run this back, I want to take a look at the center right here. This is interesting, all right? So the center's going to snap, and he's pulling around, and I guess he's looking for someone to come from the inside out. There's just really no one there. And this is what kind of catches me off guard. Sometimes I know players, you have your assignments, but then there's going to be moments in a game when things don't work out the way they're supposed to work out. And that's when the instincts just needs to come over. Just look at Addison Nichols right here. If he were to kick out this one guy who the only guy really in his path, just kick him out. Just imagine that lane that it would give to Dubinion right here. First of all, we haven't said that name in a while. It was nice to say Dubinion. But it's almost like it's a little weird, a little funky. It's almost like Addison doesn't even see this guy. I mean, he's running right next to him. He has his back next to him. Pretty wild stuff right there. All right, let's get to this 4th and 1 play. A great play design, putting Russell here at this fullback position. Get the ball down close to the goal line. Another situation here where Jaquindon almost got in. Not quite. Now we were in a situation where it was going to be 3rd and goal at the 1, and then we had something hurt us. We jumped off sides. All right, backed it up a little bit. 3rd and goal. Like I said, here on the first drive, it's 9 minutes. It took forever. We're just marching down the field with a handful of mistakes along the way, still got us to the goal line. And then you get to this beautiful play call right here. Great motion to make sure that you can outflank the defense. And it's just, man, we missed one right here. This has kind of been what's been haunting us, especially when it comes to Taylen Green, the underthrown balls. This should have been an easy throw and catch, walk in for a touchdown, taking off 9 minutes of the clock, first drive of the game, and being up 7-0 on the number 4 team in the country. Those are the ones you wish you could have back. And unfortunately, they've shown up consistently throughout the year. Interested to see how these will be addressed. And I'm really not trying to be a Debbie Downer. Hey, we won the game. I'm going to show you bad things that Taylen did that are frustrating. And then I'm going to show you some amazing things that he did that they are just spectacular to watch on tape. Later in this breakdown as well, we're going to talk about some of these mishaps on the offensive line. And I got to brag about this defense. All right. I'm going to show you some clips on defense. And speaking of Taylen, he did get hurt. So y'all make sure you stick around. I brought in Kirk Reynolds from Ortho, Arkansas to go over that play when he got hurt and maybe give some different scenarios of maybe what we think exactly what is going on and how long he may be sitting out or missing or not miss any at all. Make sure you stick around for that injury report. This one very important moving forward. But as we go back to this play, once again, Jordan Anthony's just going in motion. The ball should be out right now. Right now, the ball should be out on target. Just really kind of shorthanded it. That's one I bet they wish and get back. Let's get to another 4th and 1 right here. A short yardage situation. These are just tough, and you wish you could have them back. I know they're not turnovers on paper, but sometimes they feel like turnovers, and especially when you have a chance and the plays there for it to be made. You can see Gums coming in motion. Great play design. Ball needs to be out right now. I'm really not sure what's making Taylen hold this ball. I mean, that is the play design. It's right there. They probably ran it all week in practice. This is another one that's confusing for me. These are throws that have to be made. Excuse me. Really not sure what's making him hold that ball right there. Ends up coming up just short, knee down, ball's late. Should have been an easy 4th down conversion. Ended up giving Tennessee that ball back. All right, let's move along to this one right here. This is a 3rd and 5. This is right before that 4th and 1 play. And Tennessee's bringing pressure. And Arkansas picks it up. Now, do I wish JaQuindon stepped up a little bit more in that pocket? Yes. But it's still picked up. And Taylen just panicked because if we go through, look, you got his main target, who he looks at every time, comes free. A bust in coverage. When Tennessee brings so many, they kind of get lost in the secondary. I think if Taylen would have trusted his protection, which I understand why he doesn't, but we're getting there. I'm going to show you some clips, too, of our offensive line. We're getting there. If we can start trusting that protection, stay in the pocket, deliver this ball, once again, an easy 1st down. All right, let's keep it rolling. Another 4th and 1. Like I said, not a turnover on paper, but it sure feels like one. Great play design. Jordan Anthony in motion again. They're really trying to utilize his speed by putting in motion and trying to get outflank these guys and get it head of steam. Comes in motion at the snap of the ball, comes out. Ball should be out right now. Remember on the play, Kurt Herbstreit said, I don't think Taylen threw this ball because he noticed an offensive lineman was down the field. Kurt, that's a stretch, bro. I know you've been doing this a long time. I really doubt with things going 1,000 miles an hour that Taylen had time to go through his progression, go here, take a second to make sure his offensive linemen weren't downfield before throwing it. Whatever, all right? But getting the ball out much faster takes care of that. Ball should be out right now. Easy 1st down completion. That's another one. I'm not quite sure why he just didn't throw that ball. So those are a few of the things that I talked about with Taylen, not so good. Now let's go to the good. I told you there's going to be good. And we talk about growth. What have I been saying so much lately with Taylen and his eyes, taking linebackers and safeties to where he wants to throw? Look at this play. This is beautiful. Backed up, 3rd and 15. You're on your own 1-yard line, standing in the middle of your own end zone. goes through his progression, stands tall in the pocket. He gets to Armstrong. You see him, Armstrong. Eyes stay on Armstrong. Then he snaps his head, gets the ball out to Jaquindon. Now, you remember on tape I showed you Auburn. They look at his eyes so much that the linebackers are just they're probably coached now. Hey, his eyes are going to take you to the ball, and that's exactly what you can see from the Tennessee player right here. He's just looking at Taylen's eyes. As soon as Taylen looks at Armstrong, that linebacker just jumps inside. And I honestly do feel like Taylen did that on purpose to get him away from Jaquindon on that wheel route. I mean, that's next level football. That's the thing with Taylen. See the end zone angle. You can see right here. It snaps his head last minute. God, this guy right here is frustrating me because he does that. That's next level stuff right there. All right. I know it's a simple, just little toss out to the running back, but to manipulate the defense with your eyes, knowing where you really want to throw the ball and snapping last second, getting it out, that's so special. That's why I get onto this guy so much because I know it's in there. Just has to be more consistent. All right, let's move along. Another one right here. Now, this is a great concept and great routes by the receivers. How many times have we talked about the receivers not being on the same page? They're always too close. They don't understand spacing. I mean, first, look at Tesla. He's going to run this guy off, and you're going to see Satania just kind of take his time at the line. It's a delayed release because he wants that to open up. And that's exactly what happened. And Taylen saw the whole thing. He was patient in the pocket. Now, he did throw it a little bit behind him, but still, at the end of the day, just great execution, great play call. Another one right here, Taylen did an amazing job getting out of the pocket right here because as I go back, this is where we're going to put a bookmark on this one. We're going to line this up with Grant Cook. Still trying to figure out what the name of the segment is. We'll worry about that later in the week. But there's no reason why I think a down lineman should be completely unblocked right here. I think we had a little pass pro miscommunication. But Taylen gets out, rolls to the left. And this right here, I mean, that's a big-time throw. Unfortunately, Isaiah Satania couldn't come up with it right there. But that's special. If a quarterback can do that consistently, that's very special to have on your team. Let's get to a 2nd and 10. Before I move forward, a great catch by Armstrong. Great job by Taylen staying in the pocket, stepping into his throws, getting the ball out on time. He could have thrown it a little bit earlier, but still on time. You know how we've been talking about Blackstock not getting depth in his sets? He's going against an extremely good pass rusher from Tennessee. Look at this set by Blackstock. Good depth. Look at this. Come on, man. Where's that been? I knew you could do it. God, just keep doing it because you struggled a little bit later. I may or may not show it, depending on my mood, because we won. I may let it slide. I won't let it slide, but I just may not show it. But great job by Blackstock right there, one-on-one situation. Getting good depth, great pocket right there. And then this guy, Armstrong, y'all. I mean, he's next level. Look at that route coming back to the ball, hands. I'm going to say this, man. We've been watching a lot of football. We've been watching a lot of receivers. We got one who's the real deal. I'd put him up there with anybody. The way he runs routes, the way he uses his hands to catch the ball, him understanding spacing and his body awareness, he's special. Armstrong, you're doing your thing, man. You're a dude. You're in the dude category. Another one right here with Taylen, and this is going to be another one for Grant Cook as well. Number 27, this guy rushing off the edge. He had 10 sacks last year. Why is he unblocked? That's another one I just don't understand. We can get into the O-line breakdown a little bit later and let Grant Cook explain it to us. Let's stay on Taylen doing an amazing job not being sacked right there. I mean, I'm talking athlete, right? And then keeping his eyes downfield, making something that should have been a 10-yard loss into a 3-yard gain. That's huge. We got to tighten up on that protection, no doubt, but that's special right there from number 10. All right, let's keep this thing rolling. A 2nd and 7. Let's see right here. Yes, let's just look at this. In the breadbasket. There's nowhere else you put that ball. I mean, beautiful ball, beautiful delivery. He got it out on time. Didn't waste. He just, look at that. And then once again, another great catch by Armstrong. I mean, this dude right here is legit, y'all. He's going to be playing on Sundays, making plays on Sundays. Andrew Armstrong's good. And then we go to this play. Now, this is where, that's called the 2-hole shot. All right. Now, this was a little tight, But the thing I like about this play right here as we roll this back, the trajectory, hopefully I'm saying that right, of this ball, the one that he threw to Armstrong, he kind of threw it in the breadbasket. He understood right here, and this was bold by Broden, slipping it inside on this cover two look. There's a little hole. It's called the two-hole shot, the little window right there. If you are a quarterback and you try to throw it in between the safety and the corner, it has to be on a rope. And so it seems like he understood that. And you can see, yeah, the velocity on this ball, it's a strike. He knew he needed to get it to him quick. That was pretty special right there. Good to see from Taylen Green throwing the right type of ball for that throw. And then let's just go the very next play, another dime. I mean, this is what gets me with Taylen. Like, the underthrows sometimes, I just don't get it. Why he holds the ball sometimes. It's like when he makes his mind up and commits to the throw, it's like he can make every throw in the book. That's very exciting moving forward for Arkansas once we get this guy on consistent. And obviously we'll talk more about that play with Kirk Reynolds here in a second. See what it looks like for Taylen moving forward. But, yeah, just incredible plays right there. All right, we're going to transition into a part of this breakdown where we're going to kind of let you know the things we were dealing with up front. As you take a look at this play right here, Braun just completely whiffed, and this happened a few times. And you can see the situation now. It puts Arkansas in. Like, obviously you can't hand this ball off, but you're reading the guy who's unblocked outside of this defensive tackle. There's just nowhere to go, all right? And so sometimes what I saw on tape, I'm going to give praise now to Jaquindon Jackson of making something out of absolute nothing, all right? And so these are big-time plays. You can see Jaquindon right here. Braun getting pushed once again. This is 2nd and 7. We're trying to get in and score. This easily could have been a 5-yard loss, easily. But he was able to make one miss in the back, get back to the line of scrimmage, and then get a couple more yards. Look at that effort. That's unreal by him. And then another one here on the goal line, 1st and goal. Take a look at Blackstock in Braun, the guard and tackle here on the right side. I believe they're supposed to be working this one guy up to the next level, but they completely missed that block. And if you pause right there, that could have been an easy tackle for a loss, but Jaquindon just running hard, refusing to be tackled, gets in for a touchdown. Special right here. Speaking of special, we're going to wrap this breakdown up on the defense. I just, it's hard for me to do breakdowns on the defense because they just are perfect. I know they're not perfect. It just seems that way. It's so special watching them play. What Coach Williams has done has been nothing short but amazing. But let's get into it right here. What we decided to do, man, this guy named Nico getting all the love in the world. Let's bring pressure and see what he's got, all right? And the thing about these plays I'm about to show you, as we bring pressure, you need to understand the more guys we bring, it's leaving all of our DBs in man-to-man coverage with no help. And you can see sometimes they do block the pressure, and you see the quarterback holding it for a little bit. Usually when that happens, I think something bad is about to happen because DBs in coverage that long, it's tough, y'all. It's very tough. But our DBs are right there holding it down. Here's a play right here. We only bring 4. We get great pressure. A little spin move, he falls down. It's good. But as we take a look from the other angle, like I said, great spin move. Wish we could stay on our feet. It's all good. But if we get to this angle and press pause, who do you throw to right here? You know, there's no one to throw to. I mean, our DBs, y'all, it's unreal what they've been able to do. Let's get in this situation right here. You talk about just dialing it up and being creative defensively. You can see quarterback for Tennessee. He wants to throw this comeback, and you can see right now the DB's a little high. Receiver runs a great comeback, but look at Johnson, our safety, understanding. Look at that. You see how he looks back? He's kind of playing in between the two, so he has the short of that field, the short of that comeback. Underneath it, he has it all covered. All right, so quarterback has nowhere to go, has to get out of the pocket and scramble. You get a better view of it from right here. This is just great defensive concepts, and because at first this quarterback would think that comeback is the way to go, but safety comes up and then he bails back to get underneath this route. Quarterback's scared he's going to throw an interception. I mean, just a great concept right there. I love what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball. Are picking up, 2nd and 7. Bringing pressure once again. And this play right here, it's just fun to watch. Dialing up a very creative pressure. Delayed blitz from the linebacker inside. And so this running back or this tight end sees this guy blitzing off the edge. Watch where they bring this other blitzer from. The guy never sees it. He sneaks in front, gets pressure on the quarterback. That is creative defense right there. But more importantly, the defense. Once again, when you bring pressure, man-to-man coverage, oh, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's awesome. I'm going to brag on Sori right here on this one. Take a look at this play. Look at number 10 right here. Just being an athlete. We got some guys right here. Our linebackers are so athletic. The way he dodges that block, gets underneath right there, still being able to make the play. We're putting some good stuff on tape. Let's take a look at another situation right here. You talk about number 8, man. He showed up. He had one bad play. 2 bad plays that I can think of off the top of my head. That one against Auburn where he took that weird angle and then it ended up going for a touchdown. And then another one where he took a bad angle. Tennessee ended up having a very long run. But look at this right now. He's playing safety, all right? He is showing that he is covering the top of this guy 100% of the way. And last minute, he understands what's going on. He sees it. His instincts are awesome. They sometimes get him in trouble, but a lot of the time they put him in the right spot. He comes off of that deep, helping that DB over the top. He sees this tight end coming across. Quarterback thinks he's going to be wide open. What a break on the ball. I mean, like I said, I can't brag enough about our defense. It's been very special what they've been able to do. And so I could sit here and go over about 2 more hours worth of tape. I just wanted to kind of let you know the things that we still left on the table offensively, that if we can figure it out, man, we got so much more we could put on that scoreboard and really put Tennessee in a spot to where they're not even close. And I know it's hard not to think, what if, so we got to move past that. 4 wins here on the season, for sure 2 more wins. And now it's just like, what's going to happen to LSU? What's going to happen to Ole Miss? I mean, all those conversations now come back on the table because, once again, the thing that I saw here on tape with the offense, with Taylen, with the line, we're slowly getting better. All the things that we've pointed out here on 4th and 5, there are a lot of mental mistakes that were all fixable. This team really doesn't have anything that's unfixable, like guys who can't get it done. It's just a learning curve. And I don't know what happened from last week to this week. Man, it really jumped up. Now just imagine giving them a bye week, continuing to pick up the pace. It should be something special to watch. Now, one thing to pay attention to, I did say I wanted to go ahead and bring in Kirk Reynolds a little bit earlier to talk about Taylen Green. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and just get right into that. But, Kurt always likes to talk about the team first. He's a huge Razorback fan. So, yeah, let's talk about the game for a little bit, and then we got to talk about Taylen Green and see when he's going to come back. All right, Doc. Once again, pumped up that we were wrong, right?
Yeah. I've never been happier to be wrong in my life.
Yeah, it's always good every once in a while for those to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But moving forward, I got you in quicker because we need to talk about Taylen Green.
Yeah.
The injury, you saw it happen. A lot of people concerned, and they showed it on the Jumbotron. Everyone said, ooh.
Yeah, it looked pretty gnarly.
Yeah, so explain to us exactly what happened there.
So it was about the 14-minute mark at the 4th quarter, and you see, I mean, he hits a just great pass to Armstrong, great completion to put us in scoring range, and Tennessee's defender comes through and just basically plows him low. If you go back and watch it, doesn't look like it was a dirty hit. I mean, it was definitely a low hit, but it looks like his momentum was carrying him down. But he basically, hits Taylen right in the left knee, and you can see him kind of hyperextend, and his knee sort of collapses in, sort of in a knock-knee position. He immediately goes down, immediately grabs his knee. He's obviously in pain. The good thing is you see the training staff come out, they're grabbing hold of him immediately, checking for his ACL, and you can kind of see that, knee looks pretty stable. They all kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Coach Pittman came out last night and said it was a minor MCL injury.
Okay.
So the MCL is a ligament on the inside of the knee. It goes from the inside of the thigh bone down to the inside of the shin bone.
Yep.
And so when it gets stressed in that sort of hyperextension and knock-knee position, you can get a tear of the MCL. So, when we say a sprain versus a tear, it's essentially the same thing. It's just how significant is the injury.
So he came out. They checked him out, and then he got back out, and you could tell after the first time he scrambled, he was just kind of limping.
Right.
And so what potentially was he feeling there to make him feel, okay, we need somebody else to come in?
So I suspect it was a combination of 3 things. Number 1, it hurt. Number 2, he probably felt a little unstable, like he didn't trust the knee, and the knee was probably already starting to swell. And so then it feels stiff, and you lose some of what we call proprioception. And proprioception is basically our brain and our joint communicating so that we sort of understand where we are in space. And those nerve fibers sort of get stunned. And so he can't really tell where that knee is. I mean, it's a sense of like, man, I just don't trust this. It's a lot of apprehension in the knee. And so that's where he just wasn't able to perform at the level he needed to finish the game.
Yeah. So now we're at a point where bye week, perfect timing. Is that long enough for him to get back healthy, or we could expect to maybe see Singleton play a few games?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it depends on what the MRI shows. I guarantee you, if he didn't have an MRI last night, he had one today. And so we grade MCL tears on a 1, 2, or a 3. 1 being a sprain, 2, you're seeing some of those fibers torn and stretched out. Grade 3, it's essentially torn in half. The good news about MCL tears, 95+% of them heal without surgery because the MCL is not actually inside the knee joint, and so it has a really good option, a really good opportunity to heal. Typically, what we do: put a kid in a brace, let it kind of tighten up, keep them on crutches for a couple weeks. Usually 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If it's a low grade sprain, grade 1, maybe grade 2, pretty much be able to be back where he needs to be. If it's a grade 3, he may miss some time against LSU. I mean, hope not. Yeah. I think the fact that he was able to walk immediately off the field, the fact that he was able to come back and he wasn't where he needed to be, but he was able to come back and play. To me, that's a good sign that it's a lower grade injury.
Do you think him being such a athletic, mobile quarterback is going to play a little bit bigger role into that? Because in my opinion, that's what keeps him on the field as much as he is. Yeah. And so with this, but they say, okay, let's stay in the pocket a little more. Right. What do you think?
That's my fear. If it limits him to where he can't escape the way he needs to, and he really needs to stay in the pocket, man, our pass protection is going to have to step up. Yeah. Because last night, I mean, Tennessee's end rushers were untouched so many times, and we stepped up. We had a hell of a win. Defense played amazing, but when we've got a mobile quarterback and he's a step slow. You wonder how is that going to play?
Okay. All right. Well, this is real quick. Like I said, we haven't had time to really get a full injury report list, but Taylen, quarterback.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Moving forward this season, that's a big injury. And like I said, I'm hopeful that he's going to be back playing against LSU.
Okay. So there is a shot there, right?
I think there's definitely a shot.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe want to see what Singleton's like. Yeah. We don't know. If they're both available, I guess we'll find out. Right. All right. Appreciate you, Doc.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, always love it and appreciate Kirk Reynolds from Ortho, Arkansas. And y'all, once again, appreciate the love, appreciate the support. This channel is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And the best way to help and support that, please hit that subscribe button. That's really all you have to do. Maybe share it with your friends. 70% of people who watch this don't even subscribe, but it's all good. Content's still going to come. Much more to come from 4th and 5. Y'all stay with us. Put that notification button on because it's going to be a fun week. I'm already thinking of some very creative things to do during the bye week because, we don't have Arkansas football to look forward to. You'll have something to look forward to here on 4th and 5.